Coming up, it may be a hidden danger in your car, a badly installed windshield that could lead to injury or even death.
There may be a serious danger hidden in your car right now. If you have ever had your windshield replaced, there's a possibility it was improperly installed and could fall out in an accident. And if it does come loose, passengers have a greater chance of being ejected from their cars. The result could be more serious injuries or even death. You're riding in your car. Suddenly, someone stops short. You hit them head on. Will your windshield protect you?
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that if you're in an accident and something comes off the occupant compartment, a roof, door, windshield, it just opens up the opportunity for ejection. And ejection is the leading cause of serious injury and death in an accident. You're 15 times more likely to be seriously injured or killed if you are ejected than if you are contained in the automobile.
Jim Gilbert is the lawyer for this man, George Miller of Bailey, Colorado. Miller was in an accident in 1982. He was ejected from a pickup truck when the windshield fell out. The accident left him a paraplegic.
Once I was ejected, I don't know how many feet I flew through the air, but I lit on the pavement and the curbing, and I believe I rolled up into some bushes, I was told.
Since the early 80s, manufacturers have been using more glass in cars. Well, in order to keep the cars structurally fit, they use a super strong urethane glue to hold the windshields in. George Miller says that the windshield in the pickup involved in the accident was improperly installed. His lawyer was able to prove in court that the windshield installer didn't use the urethane glue. In fact, no glue was used at all. He says at the time, virtually all installers used no glue, but simply a sealer to keep the rain out.
They said that this urethane material was messy, so they didn't have to contend with messiness. Some of their people admitted at trial that it was less costly to do it that way. So all of these influences, none of which were related to safety, but all of which were related to dollars and cents, came to bear on the way in which the windshields were put in.
Gilbert used this videotape at Miller's trial to show what happens when urethane glue is not used. A bowling ball was dropped on this windshield that was installed with urethane. The glue holds the windshield in, and the ball does not go through the glass. But when the ball was dropped on this windshield, which was installed without glue, the ball goes right through. There's no protection for the passengers in an accident. This man says it appears the general public is not aware of the windshield danger. He's the president of the Association of Trial Lawyers of America, or ATLA. That's an organization of 60,000 lawyers which publicizes what it says are safety hazards discovered through trials.
And if, in fact, we can inspire enough excitement, then the public is going to be aware, the regulatory agency are going to be aware, the glass companies are going to be aware, the manufacturers and their retail outlets are going to be aware, and it's going to save more lives.
ATLA says statistics from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration shows that 105 lives would be saved and 160 injuries prevented if all glass installers used urethane glue. But companies like Bartlestone Glass of New York say ATLA is unnecessarily worrying drivers. While they admit that some companies were improperly installing windshields in the early 80s, they say now nearly everyone is using the proper glue.
Back then, the type of installation was a lot different than it is now. And right now, I think the windshields are built to stay in the car, and I think all the installers, through the education we have certainly made it so that they are installed properly.
Still, people like George Miller say double check whenever you're having a new windshield installed.
Go to a reputable dealer and have them checked out very thoroughly first and ask a lot of questions.
GM has settled out of court with George Miller for an undisclosed sum. He was awarded $6.1 million from the company that improperly installed the windshield. Well, that company is currently appealing this decision. If you've had your windshield replaced in the past, it's almost impossible to tell if urethane glue was used. The only way to make sure is to have the windshield replaced. But your best bet may be to wear your seatbelt. That way you'll be held in the car.